Another issue that contributes to our mistrust is the fact that we have become very polarized. In a society where people make snap judgments about others solely based on their first impressions. It hasn't always been this way. In the past, when you meet someone new, you would try to get to know them and find out what you may have in common. Now, if you meet someone and they are on the opposite end of the political scale, then people tend to make all-encompassing assumptions about many aspects of who that person is. Because everything is more polarized now, it's almost more difficult to disagree with someone, come to a general understanding, and then move on. In other words, now we can't even agree to disagree. We have lost the ability to have civil public discourse, and at the same time, remember that good people can disagree. And just because you disagree with someone, it doesn't make them a bad person. Nowadays, it's hard to find two people who are in disagreement without one of them taking it too far, and eventually they end up crossing the line. In today's society, you also have to be aware of people who do not hesitate in playing the victim when a disagreement takes place. When it comes to our elected officials, most people believe that elected officials should have integrity. But all too often, we find out that most are willing to put politics before truth. Most politicians don't run for office based on their credentials, but they campaign based on lies and criticizing their opponents. Sadly, people are elected based on who tells the best lies and who can criticize their opponents the worst. In today's political environment, there's very little respect for truthful politicians. Nowadays, politicians lie to their constituents and to the citizens they serve without giving it a second thought. If we can't learn to value and trust each other, and if we can't trust our politicians, and our politicians can't trust each other, we will never be able to overcome the major problems facing our nation. If we don't get over our mistrust, apprehension, skepticism, hatred of those not like ourselves and with different thoughts, ideas, and opinions, we will never be able to overcome our future challenges, and we will eventually end up self-destructing. Some way, somehow, we've got to find a way to unite for the common good of us all. We must learn to open our minds to others' opinion as opposed to just holding on to what we believe. We need leadership who are just as eager to show empathy as they are to criticize each other. Trust cannot be built overnight, but we have to at least start taking the first steps that would lead us down the road to establishing a foundation that we can build on.